You talk about human experience. Do you think that there is a manual for that?
I think I'd say yes. I'd say that there's manuals in the same way that, you get a new computer and there's a manual to it, right? Does the manual make the computer work?
Right.
Or is it just a helpful guide to understand how the computer works?
Then you
more you utilize the manual, the more seamless the computer. You may not actually know how the computer works.
Yeah.
The manual is not going to give you that deep knowing, but it gives you some basic guidelines.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely those kind of things. I think periodic table. The what we know and understand of atoms and electrons and matter and basic physics, the things we know about neurology and biochemistry and those are all kind of they're manuals. You can read the manuals and you don't necessarily know how the thing works, but you have a better understanding and some guidelines of how to get the most out of it.
But at some point, the manual is as good as the manual for a computer, where we could have an opportunity to go further with just you and the computer versus you, computer, and the manual, because the manual is not going to possibly have infinite things that a computer could do.
The manual is not going to tell you everything.
Yeah.
And so if you get stuck on we humans like to do this, the manual, how many books?
Yeah, I'm going to master this. Memorize this.
Becomes this is the rule.
Yeah.
And it's there's a lot more that's not written than that is written.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it can be become just as much of a crutch as it can be a crutch that helps us when we're hobbled versus a crutch that holds us back when we're healed.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, if you enjoyed this clip, I'd recommend that you check out other clips here on this channel. Or I'd even suggest diving into a longer podcast right here on this channel or any of the platforms where you listen to the podcast. Thank you for being here. And if you enjoy this conversation, then share this with your friends and subscribe to the channel.